We went to Cedar Bluff Reservoir, which is one of my favorites of all time, but I hadn't been there in more than a decade. Well, we fished the evening, and then we came back and fished this morning, and that's what you're gonna see on this episode of Fishful Thinkers. After our evening on the dam there at Cedar Bluff, we went in and checked into our cabin that they have there at the state park, and we spent our time talking about what we observed on the dam, what the weather was supposed to do. We had a major, huge thunder boomer that came rolling through and stirred everything up, and camera guy Tim and I surmised that if we got up and started fishing closer to where fish may have spawned, we'd be doing really good for the largemouth.
We talked about inlets, outlets, boat ramps, and dams, people. Well, we are boat ramps right there, and I saw some bluegills. Actually, camera guy saw some bluegills. Oh, geez, there you go. Camera guy saw some bluegills on the boat ramp. I saw one largemouth pop, so we decided, you know what, we're not gonna run straight for the dam right off the bat. We're gonna start right over here, see what we can catch, and we didn't make it 50 yards, so let's see what happens. The boat ramps, inlets, outlets, boat ramps, and dams is something we've used everywhere, all over the country. Anytime you get around a reservoir and, you know, putting the boat in the water, starting the motor, and dropping the trolling motor is a good strategy, or can be, to at least get a fish or two. Got him. Okay, maybe we'll not just get out of here. I think I just said we were gonna go. Get me out of those sticks. Get out of there, okay. Okay, we'll go on this side of here. Come on up here, buddy. Come on up here, buddy. Come on up here. Okay, well, that's a start in the right direction. We are now 2 bites in 150 yards. And we're still within sight of the boat ramp. So haven't even run the big motor yet since we got the boat in the water this morning. And it goes to show you, you know, a lot of people want to run all over the lake, get a big fast boat like this, and they want to take off all over the lake. There's a perfect little Kansas largemouth. And I'll show you this Chapo real quick. Come up here, buddy. Little black Chapo 90 right there. Got him. All right. Well, I guess he just had to throw the Chapo back to him. Because I threw his swim jig back, he missed it a minute ago, and that's a spotted bass, and he is up in straight largemouth terrain at this point. And it's a little spotted bass. These guys are interesting fish. There's not, in my home state, they're only in a couple lakes that I even know of. There you go. I think this feels pretty good. Yeah, I think we'll just stick to this. Okay guys, that's our second cast. We just told you on the dam a minute ago we were gonna move up, look for shallow fish. We knew we'd have aggressive fish, so I didn't change my lures, just the type of stuff I was fishing. So it's about as polar opposite as you can get from the dam. I'm on a flat bank, I'm all the way up lake. And at this point, all I'm looking for is bigger fish. We know how to catch fish. We're just looking for bigger ones. So we'll mess around in here some more. I'm gonna fish through quick with the Chapo, and then I'll come back through with the swim jig and see what happens from there. Okay. And guys, you gotta be, if you're gonna fish a trebled bait around all these stick-ups like this, you just gotta be patient and accurate, especially in the wind. And you know, but it's as from what we can tell, it's the best bait to get bites with, like that. And so we're just gonna keep throwing it. It's not really something that a lot of people think of, is throwing a hard bait with a bunch of trebles right on the bank in the grass like this, but we're gonna do it anyway. Look at how clear that water is. That's why I've got a black bait on. And I like black and clear water. Come on, buddy, swing on up in here and we'll take that one. So that illustrates our point as to why we're throwing the treble bait. I could throw a frog. A frog would be a good choice up here, and I have one on the deck of the boat, and that's a good looking fish. We'll give him a kiss. That's a good looking fish, but the frog doesn't have as much resistance on the surface of the water as the Chapo does, and this little Chapo has proven to be a serious bite getter. This is just a little Chapo 90, and it's caught fish all over. I've thrown it all over the place. It's been on this rod for like a year and a half, and I don't change it. It just keeps going. Since it was calm, we could run the whole lake.
we put the GPS to use, ran all the way up lake, ran through a bunch of shallow timber to get there, and started looking at some pockets that 15 years ago held fish, and lo and behold, they held fish this time too.
Got that one. Well, he fits our pattern, that's for certain, and he is that a peeing male? No, I thought he was peeing. However, he's not the size still that we're trying to find. That's a spotted bass too. Got him. All right, still racking up numbers with this thing. Doesn't seem to matter where we go. The Chapo this morning is the bait of choice. Got that one. Oh, come on, buddy, out of the trees, out of the trees. All right, there we go. Come on up in here, okay. Gotcha. Chapo strikes again.
Now, I'm not a giant fan of fishing memories, but at the end of the day, structure is the most important thing. And these pockets had everything the fish would need, even 10 or 15 years after I was last there. They had some access to deep water. They had basically a creek channel running through the middle of them, lots of wood cover on them, but they had also flat, gravelly banks that the fish could get on as well. And that proved to be the key to the whole thing.
Got him. Come around that bush, come around that bush, come around that. He's in that other bush, come out of there. Okay, and we're just gonna go in here with that all in one shot with that fish. He was way back in there. So that's now 3 bites and like 5 casts right here on this flat sand. And the whole key is that I'm sure that this little shad we saw as we were just sitting over here. And again, he's not huge. Got that one. Man, there's a lot of these in here. Oh, that's a strong one here. And he's ballyhooed as well. This is a little bit better one. But I got him ballyhooed, so he's in the mouth, but he's also hooked on the side. So I got a sideways spotted bass coming in the boat. That's a decent spotted bass. All right, I'm gonna tell you one thing, guys. I fish to have a good time, and we preach to fish for what's biting. And are we catching giants yet? No, we haven't. And we'll probably figure out how to catch some better ones. But if I can throw this little Chapo all morning long and get bites every few minutes, even in the windy conditions and everything else, it's pretty hard to put it down. And I really feel like that if we get in front of the right fish, we're gonna catch some big ones. I think what we're running into is there's lots of males on these flat banks, and there's probably females in some of the big timber out around here. But for now, I'm gonna keep working on this because it's fun and I like to giggle. As we were banging around catching fish here and there, and we were trying some different things with an open mind, I threw a topwater around a little bit, threw a little baby Chapo, caught a bunch of fish with that, although not the size we were hoping for. Oh, got him. Yeah, that's why you keep working your retrieve, guys, because that fish nuked it and it went flying, but he didn't get it. And I just keep going with it, and next thing you know, he's in the boat. And that's a good looking fish. That to me looks like a meanmouth as well. And I won't swear to this because I don't know 100%, but that doesn't look like a pure spotted bass to me. And I don't know exactly, and it's definitely not a pure smallmouth bass. I would say that's a meanmouth, but I can't tell for sure. Oh, I got him on that single stick up. That's why you fish those little, get out of there, you got me in something. It's funny because these fish aren't that big, but they got a lot of stuff on the bottom to get into, given the chance. So we're trying to hustle them to the boat as fast as we can. And there's a largemouth. And there's been no shortage of mixed up fish today on this trip to Kansas. There's been, that size of every species in the lake.